Welcome back to Novel Writing 101, the 21-week course where I teach you how to write the first draft of your novel. Today we're going to get into my advice for writer's block and perfectionism, so let's get started. Writer's block can be one of the most frustrating things to happen to a writer, especially during the first draft process. To me, there's two different ways to handle writer's block, and it varies a lot on where you are in your writing process, how you're feeling, and you personally. The first fork in the road of this advice is to push through. Sometimes our writer's block comes from us overthinking things or getting in our own heads, and sometimes we just need to push through the ick and keep going to get over that. Maybe you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, maybe you're overthinking, maybe you have imposter syndrome, and you just need to keep writing to prove to yourself that you can. Also, it's good to remember in these moments that this is a first draft. Nothing has to be perfect, which we'll touch on perfectionism a little bit later, but allow yourself to kind of feel these moments of writer's block. Realize that not everything has to be figured out now, and you can just keep writing and work through that ick. However, that isn't always the solution we need to writer's block. And when you're looking at this fork in the road, my other piece of advice when it comes to writer's block is to let yourself be. This might seem counterintuitive to everything I've taught in the course thus far, but this advice is going to look like taking a step away from whatever you're writing and getting your head on straight. Sometimes pushing through is not the answer. It's only going to make you more overwhelmed and stressed out when it comes to your work. And if you push yourself too hard, it can also make you not love what you're doing. And if you push yourself too hard and put too much pressure on yourself, it can also lead to not loving what you're doing and what you're writing, which we should be loving our craft. So when you have writer's block, I want you to really sit with yourself and think, which path down this fork in the road do I need to take? Am I just getting in my own way and I just need a little push to keep going? Or am I on the verge of burnout, and if I don't take a break now, it's going to lead to repercussions down the road? There's no right or wrong answer. You could work on one writing project, get writer's block, and be like, oh yeah, I can just push through. This is just like, I'm getting too wrapped up in everything, too stressed, I'm overthinking. I just need to keep writing and get through this one chapter maybe that I don't like, or this one piece of dialogue. However, another project may have you feeling vastly different, where you keep trying to push through and you're like, this isn't working. Like, if I keep going, I'm no longer going to find passion in this thing I was once so passionate about. So really sit with yourself when this happens and figure out where you need to go and what you need to do, because it will be personal and specific. Now let's switch gears a little to perfectionism. Perfectionism can be a bitch. It's like a little devil on your shoulder that tells you what you're doing is not good enough. Which, when it comes to the first draft, that is entirely irrelevant. The purpose of a first draft is not for it to be good, it's for it to exist. So whenever you feel overwhelmed or get imposter syndrome and you're like, this writing isn't what it needs to be, cut yourself some slack. Because this first draft should not look anything like a finished book. This is just you getting your thoughts out, sharing the story with yourself first so you can refine it later for an audience. And I know, trust me, I know, it's really hard to get over that urge for perfectionism. You want to be the best. You want to write the best thing you've ever written. I get it. But you need to give yourself space and grace to realize that this is a work of art and it's a work in progress. And nothing is going to be perfect first go round. That's what iteration and practice and progress is for. So try to be kinder to yourself when you have those urges for perfectionism rise up during the first draft process. So let those perfectionist tendencies just roll off you like waves, maybe flick the devil off your shoulder, and just commit to enjoying the process and learning as you go. Every single time you write, you are getting better at writing. It's just like going outside and shooting hoops will make you better at basketball, or taking 30 minutes a day to sketch will make you a better artist. It's all about repetition and progress and allowing yourself to show up for yourself day after day. So really, fuck perfectionism. You don't need it when you come to your first draft, and it should not even be on your radar. So there you have it. Those are my tips for writer's block and perfectionism. To wrap it all up, you really just need to feel where you're at in your writing process, give yourself grace and space, and just commit yourself to keep pushing through that ick. That's it for today, you guys. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. But for now, happy writing, and I'll see you next time.